Hello everyone, welcome to the Wandering series. Right behind me is a town called Cardston, and it's supposed to be the Mormon capital of Canada. So it's just you and me today, and we're gonna go explore it. We do have a few attractions to check out, but the main reason why I'm here, well, to find Jesus, of course. And if I were to find him anywhere, I believe it would be in the Mormon capital of Canada. So with that intro, let's get this show on the road.
Wandering down the highway, I'm always on the go, searching for those hidden gems, places you don't know. It's the Wandering series. Ba-ba. Wandering high and low, let's hit the road and go.
So I think what we're gonna do is just go explore downtown, which is over yonder. But the first thing I gotta do, I realize, is I have a few talismans on me. I have this evil eye, and I don't think the Mormons would appreciate me having this. So I'm just gonna like take this off because I don't want to be labeled a heretic or something. That's the last thing I need, is get chased out of town because of my evil eye. There. I am now, was it heretic free, right? So we ran into our first issue, it's just kind of flooded. And I am wearing runners, so how do I do this? I was thinking about wearing my boots, right? But I would be like, hey, it's not so bad today. And there's just a river flooding down the streets. But I guess this is the historic downtown, so we're gonna walk down. The one day I decided to not wear my boots. I wear the thinnest runners. And you know what? It's also really cold. It's really cold today. They said +9, and it is not +9. It's actually like -9. But you know, that can't stop us. I'm actually just kind of like trapped. Like it's all water. Gotta cross. Okay. Red Rooster convenience store. You know, I actually thought that was a Red Lobster, and I was about to go eat there. No, Red Rooster. Say no to panhandling. Handouts don't help. I've never seen a sign where it says, hey, don't hand homeless people money. That's kind of crazy, but I don't have cash on me, so it's, I guess they don't get much anyway, so unless they have Venmo or whatever. I wanted to see the theater. Oh yeah, there's that old courthouse. These elm trees were planted in loving memory of the 33 splendid men whom we all reserve as the fathers of Confederation. I'm not too sure what that means, but these are old trees, and this one has like a, what, like a tumor or something. What is this? Like a giant like patch. But this is an elm tree, I guess, like Nightmare on Elm Street. I wonder if those are the trees. It's huge though. It's not open, is it? No. Dollar store? That is the pinkest dollar store I have ever seen. What is this? It does feel good to be back out and about. We do have a few stops, right? And we're coming up to our first one right now.
Here comes the king. Conga, conga, conga.
So this is our first stop, a King Kong fountain. First off, we have the sign. It's dedicated to the movie King Kong, which is, it's not the 2005 one. This is the original 1933 King Kong that it's dedicated to. Back Back in 1933, King Kong captivated audiences like nothing they've ever seen before, and we all know the story, right? Filmmaker Carl Denham hires Andaro to star in a mysterious movie project and set sail for a remote Skull Island, a hidden world filled with prehistoric creatures and an enormous ape named Kong. When natives kidnap Anne as a sacrifice, Kong takes her but forms an unexpected bond. Denham's crew battles dinosaurs and braves Skull Island's dangers in an attempt to save her. Eventually, Denham captures Kong and brings him to New York City, hoping to make a profit by exhibiting the giant ape. But once in the city, Kong breaks loose, rampaging through Manhattan to reclaim Anne. And in the iconic climax, he scales the Empire State Building, swatting at attacking biplanes before being fatally shot and falling to his doom. And this film was a cinematic game changer, introducing special effects so groundbreaking that 1930s audiences were left in awe. Nobody had ever seen a giant ape battling biplanes atop of a skyscraper. I did end up watching this movie, but you can certainly tell it's from a different era. But I do have to cut it some slack. This movie is 90 years old, nearly 2 hours long, and sometimes, most of the time, it was just a slog to get through, but I can still appreciate it for what it did for the film industry. And not only was King Kong a smash hit for RKO radio pictures, it also paved the way for future monster and adventure films, everything from Godzilla to today's blockbuster creature features, owing a debt to that original Big 8. The film's dramatic score and then revolutionary combination of live action and stop motion turned King Kong into a pop culture legend, and one where we're still seeing in new movies to this day. And also, just a little fun fact, this was one of Hitler's favorite movies, so do with that what you will. Was it Beauty that killed the beast? No, I think he was an 80-foot gorilla who rampaged through a town. And I guess you're wondering why the Mormon capital of Canada has this fountain. Well, it's actually not dedicated to the movie King Kong. It is dedicated to this girl right here. And her name was Fay Wray. Fay Wray was born around Cardston in 1907 and went on to star in nearly 100 films during her Hollywood golden age. Although King Kong is her most iconic role, where she famously screamed at the top of the Empire State Building, she was already making a name for herself in horror and adventure classics like Dr. X and Mystery of the Wax Museum. These titles earned her the nickname of one of cinema's earliest scream queens. Ray's terrified cries on-screen chemistry with the giant ape in King Kong helped cement that 1933 film as a cultural touchstone. And over her long career, she left her mark on monster and horror movies, eventually receiving a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. But they have just this fountain dedicated to her, and I think it's really cool. I love this sign, right? And, well, it wouldn't be a fountain without the fountain, but it is, it's not on. It looks like there's some water, but I believe that's because of the snow. I am a little disappointed it's not on. I think it's mostly because it's the beginning of January and it's very cold in Canada, so I think maybe that's why it's not on. What are we gonna give this attraction? Well, I love the sign, right? It's King Kong. How do you not like King Kong? But I am disappointed with the fountain. I think that takes away some points. Like, this is just like a super quick little roadside stop. This has a special place in my heart because this is like the first roadside attraction that I've seen when I started this series. So you know what? I'm gonna give it a 4. Did we find Jesus here too? No, we did not, but I think we just move on to our next attraction. So this is the founder's home, Charles Oricard, I believe his name is, and he was the founder of Cardston. Yeah, he was either the founder or one of the founders of Cardston. That's kind of it, isn't it? That's historic downtown. Not too much, but there are some cool buildings. Too bad you couldn't go in them, right? Holy shit. I thought it was a tire screeching. Oh my god, that actually scared the shit out of me. They did really good there. So this is one of our attractions right here. Not this guy, but the building behind him It's the largest museum of its kind, and it's also the largest in the world. This is the Remington Horse Carriage Museum, and we're gonna go check it out. I guess I should say, before I go in, this was the first place, Cardston, where I started my channel. This was my first destination, but since I was using my shitty phone, I basically... Yeah, it all got corrupted. When I first came here, there was a bunch of kids on this school trip. And so they saw me kind of doing this and they were super hyped and super excited. And I'm like, okay, I'll get you guys in the video. And I get home and all my stuff is corrupted. I think I still have a little bit, but not when the kids came up to me. So if they're still watching, they were my first fans too. Really sorry about that. I tried everything to recover the video footage and I just couldn't do it. And it was also like, this was my idea and I just lost everything first try. So the one thing about this carriage museum, it's a national historic site, and the government of Alberta has like this little, I don't know, brochure, I guess, and it lists like 21 different places to learn about Alberta history. And so I have decided I'm gonna try to do them all. And this will be the first place, Horse Carriage Museum. How interesting can a horse carriage museum be? I don't know. Well, I kind of know because I've already been here, but you don't know that.
But before we dive in, let's check out some reviews. Overall, they're pretty solid, but there is one-star review from Matlin, who writes, Simpsons says it best. It's a museum full of carriages. If that's your thing, then go for it. Personally, I think Simpsons described it best as one of the most boring family vacation spots. But we do have a comeback. In response, the Carriage Museum quipped, Matlin, we do hope your visit wasn't as torturous as it was for Richard Dean Anderson in the Simpsons episode Kiss Kiss Bang Bang Galore. This is a reference to the season 17 episode 17 storyline where Patty and Selma kidnap MacGyver, played by Richard Dean Anderson, and subject him to their vacation photos, which included the Carriage Museum. I always find reviews like this funny because, come on, you know what you're getting into at a carriage museum, but hey, who knows, maybe I'll end up agreeing with Matlin this time around, but we'll have to see.
Why would you want to collect horse carriages, I guess, is my thing. But I guess it's the same as a car collection. This is like more old school, I guess, than a car collection. Like, look, you even got like Santa's sleigh. I really like this guy over here. I like this one. I think this is my wagon. I travel around. Western passenger wagon. I guess that's pretty generic. So maybe I find something better somewhere. Is this a carriage simulator? It's just the horse's ass. This is literally 240p horse's ass on this. You even got the reins. Yeah. This is the best thing. I did not see this the first time, and I'm very glad I got this experience. Oh, watch out for the other horses. Oh no, there's, okay, we're good. Okay, enough of this. Enough of this.
Any questions so far?
Actually, I do. What would you say is like the most expensive horse carriage you got here?
That's an interesting question because I don't work with monetary value, most of the time I work with sentimental value.
Oh, okay.
But I do know that one of the more valuable carriages we have is actually this brown guy right here. This is a Hansom cab. This one was owned by the Vanderbilts, Alfred Gwynn Vanderbilt. And it's in last use condition, so it hasn't been restored. I don't know of any repairs that were made, certainly not by us. It was originally curated by Don Remington, and he also didn't touch it. So you can actually see on the side, just above the window there, is the Vanderbilt.
Oh, the little crest.
Stamp.
The Vanderbilts were once the richest family in the United States during the Gilded Age, roughly from the 1870s to the late 1890s. The carriage here belonged to Alfred Vanderbilt, who might not be the most prominent Vanderbilt, but he did die a hero during the sinking of the RMS Lusitania. At the time, the Lusitania was one of the world's largest passenger ships, though it was soon surpassed by the HMS Mauretania. En route to Liverpool, the Lusitania was struck by a German U-boat. Rather than saving himself, Alfred gave his life jacket to a young mother and her infant, sacrificing his own life and cementing his legacy as a hero.
Well, that's perfect. Well, thank you so much for that.
My pleasure. I'll come
All
by
right.
and check on you.
Oh, thank you. But I guess we kind of checked everything else out. That was kind of it. I just want to know what the most expensive thing here was. Like, it's like an entire building just of horse carriages. This one I really like. This was one of my favorite ones when I first came. The oil tank wagon. You just transport oil. That's how they used to do it. It's super cool. If I had to buy anyone, I would buy this guy. I really like this. I will say some of these look really comfy. Would I want to spend like 5 hours in it? No. No, I don't think I would. Actually, this is the one that I want, right here. I think this is the one. This reminds me of like a Bloodborne type carriage, and I really like it. I could just rock this. What is this? Borscht or Kashi. What do you drive? I drive a Borscht or Kalishi. But this one's pretty cool too. I like this one as well. It's got like a trumpet. Yeah, wealthy enthusiasts. That's what I am. I really like this one. This reminds me of like the Resident Evil merchant type caravan from what, Resident Evil 8? Or there's like these little kids horse carriage ones. I don't think this is for me though. I'm gonna try. Let me see. Oh, actually, this is like really sturdy. Saddle up, partner. We're going for a ride. Okay. Oh. Oh. Actually, these seats are comfy. I really like this. Okay, so if I were to pull.
Hi, I'm Mark Hagee.
Hi, Mark.
Manager here at Remington.
There's a bunch of yapping. I'm hoping I can drive this guy around. Okay, I'm done. Mark took too long. I got the attention span of a goldfish. I just like to look at things, right? This is really dope. This is a 1910 McLaughlin Buick Model 19. I think that's sort of kind of it. I think we saw everything. But I think I'm gonna get this pocket watch. So that was the Remington Horse Carriage Museum. What did we think of it? I thought it was pretty good, actually. The people and staff, super friendly, right? And there was plenty to see and do. I did have fun looking at all the horse carriages. You know what? I'm gonna give it a solid 5. I don't care. Did we find Jesus at the Horse Carriage Museum? No, we found horse carriages and a sick pocket watch, which, look, right? Okay, wait. Oh, this is kind of tricky. Oh, this is actually embarrassing. And if I pull it out, all right, I can, oh, what time is it, you ask? Well, let me, okay, this is a little bit tricky. Let me get that for you. It's now 12. You almost had it. These kids just kind of came and started drifting. I'm hoping they come back. Maybe not. Maybe I scared them off with the camera. I wanted them to do like a cool trick. Get back here.
So after the Horse Carriage Museum, it was time to get some food.
I was gonna eat here. As soon as I pull up, the owner comes out. He's like, "I'm leaving now." I'm like, "Oh, okay." But he's gonna be back. But I'm like, I don't really want to wait. And he did leave his open sign on, so if you're leaving your restaurant, right, would you not kind of shut off your open sign? But whatever, we'll find somewhere else maybe.
So I decided to hit the road actually because there was no place in town that I wanted to eat at. So I actually ended up at another Mormon community called Magrath.
Since I didn't want to wait around to eat till like 5:30, I've come to a place called Magrath. I was just gonna walk around the downtown, which I don't think there's too much here either. Maybe there's a restaurant that is not like closed or is leaving. This is the Rooster. I think I just heard a rooster too. My car's right here. I'm gonna grab my phone. I'm gonna see if there's a place to eat. Surely these people go to a restaurant to eat. There's literally a restaurant, a pizza place, and it's up here. A single restaurant. Do we want pizza? I kind of want pizza. That seems pretty good. Maybe it's down here. Where am I going? It says I passed it. That's why I can't find it. I'm not even close to it. If I can't find it, then I am done trying. Maybe they're gone too. I have to come back at like 7:30. No, I gotta go this way. Okay. Why is this so hard? This is where they want me to go. Not downtown, but on someone's lawn. Now I'm determined to find this pizza place. In the middle of Bufu fucking Egypt, trying to get pizza. So it looks like if I go... Oh, there we are. We found it. Do we get a large deluxe pizza?
It's about 25 minutes.
25 minutes?
20 or 25 minutes.
Okay. So I think it's gonna take a little bit. I think I get my car because I know where this is because I don't want to. I'm not walking on ice with this large pizza. I'm sorry. I'm not doing that. This place is really quiet too. That's perfect.
Thank you.
Oh, thank you. You too, eh? That's... Wait, how does it open? Sideways? Doesn't really look deluxe. Like, there's really no toppings, but I think they're, like, on or, like, inside. Oh. Look at that. A1's Pizza. You know the rules, right? One bite. That's actually really good. Cheese, drippy. I like my cheese drippy, bra. What do I give A1 pizza? Right, initial impressions, I was a little disappointed because it doesn't look very deluxe. But biting it, oh, really good pizza. For it being like the only restaurant in town, I guess it's the best restaurant in town, isn't it?
After pizza, it was time to head back to Cardston and head to the place what this episode has all been leading to, the Mormon Temple.
How'd you get so Mormon?
Mormon, Mormon, how'd you get so Mormon?
So Mormon,
Building temples shining bright in the morning.
morning.
Out on the plains you planted your dreams, turned dust into gold with your pioneer schemes. Oh Mormon, Mormon, tell me your tale. How'd you move mountains and follow the trail? With wagons rolling your faith was sworn in. Mormon, Mormon, how'd you get so Mormon?
So I guess one of the biggest questions that I have is, why are there so many Mormons here?
Well, in 1887, John Taylor, then president of the church, sent Charles Orricar, that's the guy whose house we saw downtown, north to what was then Canada's Northwest Territories, now Alberta. Why? To find new land and greater religious freedom, since Mormons in the US were facing legal crackdowns over polygamy.
I've been to the Clink a few times myself just for that.
Canada's open spaces and looser policies looked pretty attractive, so the first Mormon settlers showed up in Cardston that same year, and eventually spread out to build other communities. They also pitched in on building irrigation systems, farmland, and railways, helping shape Alberta when it was still just getting on its feet. The Cardston Temple itself was the church's 8th temple overall, which took over a decade to build, delayed by World War I, and it's both the first temple in Canada and the first one constructed outside the United States, and in 1992 it became a National Historic Site, which is sort of kind of why I'm here. But it turns out I didn't really do my research and the visitor center was closed.
I was kind of disappointed because I really wanted to, they have a really cool picture in there. I really wanted to get that on film, but I guess it's only summer hours. Now I can't go inside because I'm not Mormon, and that's like prohibited, but I guess we can walk around kind of like the outskirts. So I guess that's what I'm gonna have to do. When is this open? 9 to 9. What does that mean, right? I get it's January. I guess I get it's not summer, but I really wanted to go there. I guess I'm gonna have to make a stop sometime during the summer. I didn't know it was a summer hour thing. I thought Jesus was for any time. It was just like a painting of Jesus, and it's actually like really, really good painting. I really wanted to get that on camera.
Now, the other big question is, well, what is a Mormon? And that is a serious rabbit hole, and religious doctrine takes more than 5 minutes to explain. Also, I'm not a Mormon myself. The only thing I actually know is from what South Park taught me. And while I was looking for more information, I stumbled upon an old Mormon cartoon that apparently actually wasn't made by the Mormons. And from what I understand, it's an exaggerated take on the LDS beliefs, but it's also still really accurate, so I'm not sure how that works.
Lucifer cunningly convinced 1/3 of the spirits destined for Earth to fight with him in revolt. Thus, Lucifer became the devil and his followers the demons. Those who remained neutral in the battle were cursed to be born with black skin. This is the Mormon explanation for the Negro race.
Ooh. And I also know what soaking is, which don't Google that. So I had to do some actual research on Mormonism. So here is my understanding of Mormonism to the best of my abilities in the shortest amount of time. A Mormon is a member of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, LDS, founded by Joseph Smith in the early 19th century. Besides the Bible, they follow the Book of Mormon, which they believe to be another testament of Jesus Christ. The story goes that in 1823, an angel named Moroni guided Smith to buried golden plates in upstate New York. And after some delays, he did recover them in 1827 and used special interpreters, Urim and Thummim, which I think that's right, to translate the text into English, publishing it in 1830 as the Book of Mormon. The book itself basically tells how a group of Israelites left Jerusalem around 600 BC and came to the Americas, forming multiple civilizations, and this explains how Native people are in the Americas. Their civilization rose and fell while prophets taught them about the future ministry of Christ. After Christ's resurrection, he decided to come back to the people of the Americas to teach his word, setting off a short era of peace before division re-emerged. The final prophet, Moroni, buries these records so Joseph Smith could find them and translate them later on. So how is that for just a quick explanation to the best of my abilities? If I got stuff wrong, which I probably did, you can correct me. But with that, the LDS Church, there's also a lot of controversy. You can just type Mormon in on YouTube, and that's basically the first thing that pops up. Some people say it's a cult, but that more or less kind of goes with all religions for me. But hey, I'm not here to bash anyone's religion or disprove it for the most part, but I do believe that you can believe in whatever you want. That's freedom, people. And Mormons do teach a few good lessons. They strongly emphasize family. Hey, that's a good one. Helping out the community. Well, I can get behind that. Jesus being number one? Well, of course. So, would I join the Mormon church? I'm kinda busy. And there are also many things I don't agree with, like giving 10% of my income to the church. Absolutely not. No coffee? No. I'm sorry, I'm not wearing those garments. But that's all religion for you, right? There's good and bad in them all. Sure, there are ex-Mormons who speak out against the church, but there's also believers who say otherwise. At the end of the day, regardless of what I think, it's up to the individual to follow their own path and what they deem is right. If it speaks to you, that's great. If it doesn't, that's fine too, regardless of what other people would say. And while I don't agree with the church's teachings, I do agree with the people. Most people are just trying to find meaning in this life, and most are good people at heart. And the Mormons are no different. They're genuinely friendly and helpful, so it's hard to fault them for that. At the end of the day, I'm just here to talk about the subject as accurately as I can, and you, the viewer, can take it as you will. And there's no denying that the Mormons did help settle Alberta in the early days. So with all that being said, did we find Jesus here in Cardston? Well, the temple was closed, so not in the literal sense, but maybe I found something else, like how faith can bring people together to shape a community. Sure, I might not be joining any churches anytime soon, but after checking out the unique attractions and learning a little bit about the Mormon history, maybe finding Jesus isn't just about walking into a church. Sometimes it's about finding common ground and understanding, even if you're just passing through. So I'll leave you guys with a Bible verse. John 4:21 through 24. Believe me, a time is coming when you will worship the Father neither on this mountain nor in Jerusalem. God is spirit, and his worshippers must worship in the spirit and in truth.
Wandering down the highway, I'm always on the go.
Thank you guys so much for watching, and if you made it to the end of the video, like, comment, subscribe, all the good stuff, it helps me out. And if you really like the video, on the screen I have some other videos that you can check out that's similar to this one, and hopefully I'll see you guys in the next one.